the dinosaurs went through multiple
extinction phases before they actually died. Y'all could hang. Welcome to Monday Marvel, where I will start continuing with our Marvel movies that we need to watch before Doomsday, as we on the road towards Doomsday happening this year, December 2026. That's when it's gonna come. So today we are talking about Age of Ultron. Oh my goodness, girl. I finally watched Age of Ultron and I got thoughts, I got opinions. So I got my camera real quick and here I am giving it to y'all. Let's bring the camera closer so you can see me. Okay, so in Age of Ultron, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner use an alien artificial intelligence from Loki's scepter to complete a dormant global defense program. The resulting AI, Ultron, gains sentience and concludes that to save the Earth, humanity must be eradicated. The Avengers must reassemble to stop Ultron's extinction plan. That was your synopsis. Now you're like, girl, we skipped a couple movies. Yes, we did. We skipped Thor, the first Thor, and then we skipped Thor: The Dark Ages. We skipped the first Captain America. We skipped the second, The Winter Soldier. Then we skipped as well. What is it called? We skipped the first Avengers. Those videos will come soon. Promise. I'm just getting Age of Ultron out of my mind because I just freshly watched it, and I'm like, I got thoughts. I wrote it down and everything, so I can't like forget it. I'm still very much like filming the others, but I will get to it. Now, our cast Our cast includes Robbie Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth playing Thor, Mark Ruffalo playing the Hulk, Chris Evans playing Captain America, Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow, Jeremy Renner, Tom Chili, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, that's the one that plays Wanda, I think, Paul Bettany, Kobe Smolder, Anthony Mackie, he plays Falcon. Yeah, he comes like at the end, so it's not really important. Haley Atwell, Idris Elba, Linda Cardellini, Stellan Skarsgård, James Spader, and Samuel L. Jackson that plays Nick Fury. Now, girl, listen, that's a cast. That's $1 million cast. So yes, let's go character by character that played in this movie so I can get all my thoughts together. So we're gonna first talk about Captain America. Now, in Age of Ultron, Captain America doesn't really have, or seems to have, any issues. Obviously, with the previous Captain America, the Winter Soldier, he finds out something that we haven't yet discussed as a team, in case you want to watch that before I make that video. But he finds out something and it kind of sort of shifts his mental space. He's kind of sort of still looking for that person. And yeah, in Age of Ultron, Captain is not really dealing with he's not really dealing with anything. He's not really in a mental space of having something bad happening to him from the previous movie that informs us a little bit on why he's acting this way in this movie. Did I mention that we need to also do the Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh my god, I'm busy. But Cap in this movie, he doesn't really have any issues. He's really just still dealing with the fact that, you know, the life that he thought he was gonna have, it died when he went into the ice 75 years ago, and he's still grappling with that fact. And then with the news that he found out in Winter Soldier, it kind of sort of affected him more, because he's like, goodness gracious, I thought that like I'm the only one here and now this. So that's where Captain's mind is at. But in this movie, he's very much just being the leader as he always has. Next up, this is my favorite character to talk about ever since Iron Man. Iron Man, Tony Stark's Robbie Downey Jr. In this movie, once again, I think when I make the video on Iron Man 3, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, but Tony is still very much grappling with PTSD, and I hate that nobody actually acknowledges it. Hold up, I need you to like see how serious I am about this. Tony is dealing with PTSD. I hate that nobody talks about this, even in the fandom, even in like the groups that I'm in. Nobody talks about just how bad Tony is dealing with PTSD, and the fact that none of these people, Avengers, are going to therapy after whatever it is that they go through. And I think something I said to my cousin, because we were watching it together, remember, she's the one that told me to wait for her to watch it with me, but nobody acknowledges the fact that this is the first time for Tony. Like, I get it, a lot of people are like, what? Why would he have PTSD? This is the first time for Tony. It's also the first time for Natasha Romanoff, but she's been in deadly situations before, so she just like rolls with the punches. This is the first time in every single movie that we've seen of Tony, let's say Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, where Tony has had to deal with non-humans in this level. So when you're thinking, okay, Krista, what PTSD can he be dealing with? Tony has never had to deal with anything extraterrestrial. Captain America has Hydra. Okay, back in his day, he dealt with Hydra. Thor, demigod. Who else is in the team? Hulk, he's a freaking experiment himself, so what else can shock him? Black Widow, once again, like, she's just rolling with the punches, and same thing with Hawkeye. All of these people have had a background in like war, fighting, being at the edge of your life. Tony hasn't had that same experience. So going from I'm fighting just to not be a supply for war machines to being in a situation where I need to realize that we are ants compared to what is out there in the world, that could fuck up anybody. And I hate that nobody actually takes the time and sits with the Avengers. I think I mentioned this to my cousin. Nick Fury kind of sort of gives Tony the space to talk about it, but nobody actually sits with these people and they're like, what you went through, what all of us went through is fucked up. It's crazy. It's scary. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna deal with this? And although I love Cap and I love him down, the whole together, it kind of sort of has its limitations. I love it though. I love that he's like, you know, we're gonna deal with it together. If we die, we die together. If we lose together. Love it down. But it has limitations because Tony's like, we don't know what's out there. How are we supposed to protect ourselves from something that we don't know? Protect us from the unknown. And that's what led to Ultron, right? That's what led to Ultron, because he's not wrong. Oh, I'm about to yap today. I'm feeling like a yapper today. Tony is saying to these people, I made Ultron not because I'm trying to be the biggest genius in the room and I'm trying to make everybody feel stupid. I made Ultron because we don't know what's out there. We need something that can protect us from the unknown, because at the end of the day, 95% of the team is human, with the exception of Thor and the Hulk. Captain America, as much as he's a super soldier and he's all of these things, Captain is still very much human. I'm pretty sure a bullet can still kill him. Black Widow is still human. She can still die. So can Hawkeye. So can Iron Man. So can that's it. Yeah, Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye. Those people can still very much die. War Machine, Falcon, all these people, they can still very much die from natural, like from human things. So let me create this thing that's going to protect us from that unknown, so that we don't have to go into this blind. We have this cover of protection. Ultron. And this is where I get into how smart Tony is. Because I sat there with my cousin and I was like, if this was a regular person, they wouldn't have been able to connect all these things. They wouldn't have been able to think of these things, because there's something that Tony and Banner say that's very interesting is Ultron was just an idea, and Tony's like, we have the scepter, 3 days, I'm gonna make this a reality. Tony is mad smart, and the thing that got me is if you mess with people that have PTSD but they're incredibly smart and you put them together, you end up with an Ultron. Although I was thinking to my cousin, I was like, maybe if they had just upgraded Jarvis, it would have been a little bit better and we wouldn't have Ultron. But that's what you get when you have mad smart people that don't deal with their issues. You get an Ultron. And as much as I don't fault Tony, I still fault him because nigga, why you and it was funny because me and my cousin were arguing this down. We were saying how, like, I was saying how, you know, maybe if he spoke to the other people, we would have had a proper conversation. Thor would have given him the perspective of a demigod because he knows the scepter. And my cousin's like, yeah, we didn't have time for that. You had 3 days tops and then it was going to Asgard. Okay? We didn't have time for that. And I get her. But yeah, that was Iron Man. Hulk. Oh my goodness. This is, I feel like I'm the only one, me and my cousin felt the same way about this, but Hulk in this one kind of sort of irritated my spirit. He was very much giving self-hatred, self-pity, and this goes back again to my first video where I talked about the difference between Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and the other guy's Hulk. I feel like the other guy was more intertwined with the Hulk. He was ready to be like, okay, if I can't get this nigga out of me, I'm just learn how to live with him. And Mark Ruffalo is like always in a state of constant self-pity, a constant like the Hulk, I don't want to go green, da 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 da. And it is amplified when Wanda fucks up with his mind and he goes on this rampage and he does all of that he does. Mind you, that scene was filmed in Johannesburg. I didn't even know that. My cousin told me. But it gets solidified when he goes on this rampage and he breaks things and he does all the things because he's like, yeah, you see, the thing that I feared the most happened. And we're all sitting there like, nigga, you barely give yourself a shot. Like, you barely give yourself credit. Because this, like, you can't fault yourself 100% for what Wanda did to your mind, but at the same time, it's like you got a whole ass beast in you, nigga. Like, if they touch your mind just a little bit, you were gonna go a little crazy. You were going to have to. It just, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you can't handle the Hulk. It is whatever. So I just felt like he was really on like that self-pity shit, and that really irritated my spirit. Like, I was like, oh, go on, we got other issues. We go on to Black Widow. Now, this is the first time in all of the movies so far where we actually see Natasha's past and we see what she went through. And let me tell you this, as much as I love Natasha Romanoff down, half the shit that she went through, I would have never. Because, like, you think of Hawkeye, because Hawkeye went through the male version of what it is that Natasha went through. But you think of how Hawkeye, I'm going to talk about this later, but you think about how Hawkeye now has a family. He's able to have kids and a wife and everything. Natasha can't have that. Natasha is limited to maybe finding a partner and never having kids. So to me, like, I feel like there's this unknown sadness. Maybe in Black Widow they go deeper into this, but there's this sadness that Natasha has of being like, I'm this incredible assassin. I can hold my own. I was telling my cousin, she's holding her own in a group of like demigods and experimental men and intellectuals, whatever. She's holding it down. And I feel like when she takes a step back from all of the missions, from all of the hype stuff, she's like, damn, what is left of me? What is left of this situation? And yeah, I feel so freaking bad for her. I felt so freaking bad for her about this whole like segment with Wanda playing with her mind. I felt so bad because she was just like legit the Vision said, like, this is all you are and this is all you will ever be. And low-key, when Banner did what he did, bitch, he just pissed me off even more. I was like, damn, at least run away with her to kind of sort of give her a semblance of peace. But nah, this nigga gonna do whatever he did. Speaking of Hawkeye, yes, this is the first time we actually also get a little bit more into his life. My hands are dry. Goodness gracious. But this is the first time we actually get a semblance of his life, of his family. His family, his kids, all of that. We do. There's a part that I really, really like when Hawkeye was talking to Wanda and he was giving her, I feel like, a fatherly pep talk where he's like, I'm paraphrasing, he's like, bitch, I got a bow and arrow, but I'm about to go there and do the damn thing. If you're going to step out of here, you need to go out there with the mindset that you need to go do the damn thing, or you need to stay here and I'm gonna call your brother to come and help, like, come and save you. You gotta pick. You can't be around us trying to save everybody and doing all this shit and you're there, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, no, you need to make a choice and you need to make a choice now, because I'm about to do the damn thing with my boy Arrow. And he did. That's what I love about Hawkeye. Hawkeye always does the damn thing, regardless of whether he has powers or not. The fact that him and Natasha are able to hold on their own in a room that they're in, because you gotta think about it, they're in a room with Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, and like those four, they're not like they're your anomalies in the world, and they're like, nah, I'm gonna hold my own, I'm gonna do the damn thing. Oh, Hawkeye, I had so much respect for Hawkeye in this movie, because in the first Avengers, like, he was on the enemy side, so I couldn't really respect him, but on this one, amazing. And also love the fact that he was the only one out of all the Avengers to, like, have Wanda play with it. Like, he's the only one that didn't have that, because he was like, bitch, I did that. This other fool tried to do that shit did that shit to me. I don't like y'all playing with my mind. And that was amazing. It kind of sort of, it, like what his wife says, it's like, these people really need you. Like, as much as, you know, they gods and powerful and whatever, they really need a Hawkeye. It balances things, it evens things out. Now here's a little bit, I'm about to go in a little bit. Wanda, and I stand by this, fight me if y'all want, this is all Wanda's fault. Yep, this all started because Wanda messed with Tony's mind. And Wanda saw what Tony's mind was going to equal. She knew the final steps. She knew what Tony Stark was about to do. And what did she do? She said, let him do it. Let him do whatever it is that he's planning to do, and let him burn. Now I told my cousin, I'm telling y'all right now, this could have ended quickly had she just focused all her energy on Tony Stark's. Because ain't nobody else hurt them but Tony Stark or Stark Industries. What did Iron Man, what did Captain America do to you? What did Black Widow do to you? What did Hawkeye do to you? What did the Hulk do to you? What did Thor do to you? Nothing. But because they were all, my pain, they're like, everybody, all of them needs to die. All of them needs to go. And what did that lead to Ultron? What did Ultron end up doing? Ultron ended up saying, we don't need humanity. What? Y'all are weirdos. Y'all are weirdos. We need to kill all of y'all. And now Wanda want to backtrack and be like, oh my god, like I didn't know that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You knew how you knew where Tony's mind is. And that's the thing that I said, this is why it's all her fault. Because you can never like expect what's going to happen at the end of whatever it is that you saw. Like, your idea was, oh, Tony's gonna self-destruct. He created the self-destruct like machinery, and the machinery was like, nah, I'm gonna take it even further. That's your fault. Should have left Tony alone. You know he dealing with PTSD. Why would you go mess with his brain? Why would you mess with his brain? Why would you mess with it? Leave him alone. Now we in the situation because of you. It ended well. Damn. Her brother, as much as her brother also had beef with Tony, and as much as her brother's also at fault for this, I do feel like he was following Wanda a lot, which led to him once again, because of Wanda's fault, he ended up becoming a victim. And I do appreciate the fact that throughout you can still see him. I think his name's like Speedrun or something. I don't know what. Pietro. There we go. Pietro's like whole mindset is, I want to get revenge for what Tony put us through. That's his mindset from beginning to end. He didn't give a fuck about what Ultron had going on. He didn't give a fuck what the other guy had going on. He was just there like, do something for me so I can make Tony pay. He ended up being, you know, on a t-shirt. But he's at least honest about it. He was doing this to get revenge. Like, damn. Not like Wanda's a fake ass, hypocritical ass. She was like, oh, like, he needs to be punished. Da, 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 da. Like, no, just say you want a revenge on Tony Stark and leave it at that. Now we get Vision. Now we barely get a lot of Vision. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this and leave it at that. We're gonna put it with my chest. Vision does not look good as a white man. Leave that nigga bread. Leave that nigga bread. I also said this to my cousin. For all the hype that they built around Vision, he barely did a lot. He barely did a lot. Like, I feel like he, like at the end, not to say that he wasn't like needed or whatever, but at the end he barely did anything. I feel like most of it was still very much the Avengers dealing with the situation and him just dealing with the bigger situation. But then again, we're talking about how like we need protection. He's like the protection that we needed, so that's why they introduced Vision. So that's all I have to say about Vision. Like he don't really do anything for me in this movie. I think there's like this one scene where he finished like offloading, is it the word? I don't know. Offloading Ultron, and then he passed out. He folded. I was like, damn. And Thor, don't get me on how Thor was like, when there was a scene, he was like, I'm Thor Odinson, da 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 da, and he's like, are you ready now? Cause my speech is getting a little too long and I don't got nothing else. And then, you know, Vision came in and then they fought. That's the whole thing about Vision. Now, last but not least, I think I didn't talk about Thor because he didn't really do much for me. Like, we barely like got like information about what he did, or like all we know is that he went into the water, found out that we needed Vision. So that was all Thor for me. He's still sexy. He's still sexy there. Crazy Thor. He does something for me. Last but not least, the man of the day, the man of the match, the man that had the Avengers shaking, Ultron. Now let me just tell you something. If Iron Man was a robot and didn't give a fuck about the rest of the world, he would be Ultron. If Iron Man did not have the humanity that he has, he would be Ultron. Ultron is him. He is Ultron. That boy, that robot, that thing is everything Iron Man is, except it's a robot. Cause the sassiness, the sarcasm, the quickness with the distraction, I need to be better, I need to improve, that's Iron Man. That is Iron Man. Oh my goodness. Ultron is the villain, is to me one of the best villains prior to Thanos. Cause Ultron had these niggas shaking in their boots. Ultron had these niggas panicking so hard that them niggas had to go and go into solitary confinement. I'm so sorry, it's so funny. But them niggas had to go to a safe house and think and stay together and be like, what we finna do? Cause he kicking our ass. Cause everything that Tony could do or think of, Ultron did and thought of. He was moving, and the thing is, on top of that, he was artificial intelligence. So him and internet were best friends. Oh, he was kicking their ass. He was kicking their ass. And I loved that for them, because why you play around with things you don't know you're supposed to not play with? Tony? oh my goodness, Ultron is like one of the best villains created. And I wrote down in my notes that Ultron is Iron Man's Darkseid. Once again, he's the version of Iron Man if he had no humanity, or he had a simple, straight vision on what peace and prosperity is. I loved one of the speeches he said, because Wanda comes and she's like, oh my god, you want to destroy us and kill us or whatever. He's like, the dinosaurs went through multiple extinction phases before they actually died. Y'all could hang. And I was like, this nigga crazy. He really about to just all of us. And he's like, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm gonna do. But like, you just need to understand, this has always been division. And I'm like, Ultron, I thought you were trying to just get rid of the Avengers. He's like, no, honey bunny, sweetie, I want to kill all of y'all. All of you need to just be extinct. I need to start over. Mind you, that's a lot of parallels with Thanos. Thanos was very much like, I just need to cut this planet in half, because half you bitches, no, you're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for me. You need to go. But yes, that was the Avengers Age of Ultron. What did you like about Age of Ultron? If you watched Age of Ultron, we are going next to, we're going to rewind and do those that I didn't do. Hopefully I'm going to get everything written down. And I'm going to leave you with my favorite scene. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye! You had to ask.
This is the best I can do. This is exactly what I wanted. All of you against all of me. How can you possibly hope to stop me? Like the old man said. Together.
Let's go! I can't even hear the music, by the way. There it is.
Girl,
There it is.
this is the Avengers.
Yes! Like, for real, Ultron.
Girl, you know what this reminds